In case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest year on record, I asked the chair, you know what this is? It's a snowball. And that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So here, Mr. President, catch this.
In February of 2015, Oklahoma Senator Jim Inhofe did something completely unbelievable. He brought a snowball onto the Senate floor during a debate over the effects of climate change to prove the global temperature of the Earth wasn't rising and that 2014 wasn't the warmest year on record. Now, this might have seemed logical to him in sort of a commonsensical way, but unfortunately, that's not how any of it works. The average global temperature is rising, and just because it snows doesn't mean climate change doesn't exist. It just means that the rising temperatures, especially in the north, had pushed the polar vortex down low enough to reach Washington, D.C., making it snow in February. However, this video isn't really about climate change as much as it is about the politics behind its deniers. So, the two things you need to know about climate change is 90% of the scientific body believes it exists, and, well, I'll just let someone you'll all recognize tell you the rest.
I get it. I can understand what's going on. We're putting carbon dioxide in the air at a prodigious rate, and the world's getting warmer, and you can know this by looking at the neutrons in the ice. You can know this by looking at the pollen grains per cubic centimeter in the sediment of ponds. You can know this by looking carefully at the rings on trees during warm seasons, wet seasons, cold seasons, dry seasons. And you can work your way back and figure out that the Earth is getting warmer faster than it's ever gotten before. And that's the problem. It's not that the world hasn't had more carbon dioxide. It's not the world hasn't been warmer. The problem is the speed at which things are changing. We are inducing a sixth mass extinction event kind of by accident.
This is something that is affecting the whole world, and you would think the United States would do everything in its power to protect the well-being of the Earth, but that's just not the case. 60% of the Republican Party just flat out deny the evidence, and sometimes it's for reasons that just aren't so great. Let's go back to Senator Inhofe for just a second. He credits his evidence for denial with this man. This is Dr. Willie Soon. Willie Soon is an externally funded part-time researcher of the Smithsonian at the Solar and Stellar Physics Division of the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics. Good lord, that is a long title. Dr. Willie Soon's research is almost entirely funded by the oil companies owned by the Koch brothers. Now, these guys would be in a lot of trouble if the US moved towards alternate fuel sources. Without their oil companies, they'd be out of their near $50 billion fortune. So in order to prevent this from happening, they've thrown millions of dollars into paying scientists to cherry pick or sometimes even flat out skew their findings, making it seem like climate change doesn't exist. Besides the fact that that's just morally disgusting, it's just plain inaccurate. Scientists all around the country have been taking money from the Koch brothers in exchange for spreading what is essentially misinformation. And the more this information is covered up, the less time this country has to soften the blow of rapid climate change and rising sea levels, destroying thousands of species and eventually drowning entire coastlines in water. Now, Senator Inhofe bringing a snowball onto the Senate floor might not be a current event, but the effects of climate change will be permanent and will always be felt for years to come. And especially now, with a presidential candidate deeming climate change a hoax, climate deniers are going to need to face the facts sooner or later, or they could just tell another lie.
Donald thinks that climate change is a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. I think it's real.
I did not.
Science is real.
I do not say that.
And I think it's important that we